Thank you very much for joining. This issue of Ghana under 17 coach Laryea Kingston resignation really surprises me. Even for someone I'm in Dean Komo, before Jumai, I met him at a funeral. I remember very well. We had a very lengthy conversation, and those were the days. And Laryea Kingston had just left Denmark, right to Dream Academy to Denmark, Wakosia coaching, Wakwakwenya experience, and so he was really anxious about taking over a job, and he's always had that ambition, very big dreams. So when I saw Laryea Kingston with Ghana under 17, I thought, say, a matter of Amokia Wato and Katekwem. It was something that he had always prayed for. I spoke to him about this job. I think he wasn't even looking at the Black Stars or big national team or club. I was suggesting at the point, say, Laryea should, I think it was the funeral of Mr. Kujo Fiano's wife in Tema. Many didn't come out, it's Sabato. And you clearly can see from his demeanor, say, well, you will be the ambition, no wrong. So I was suggesting, say, Ombo has a folk, but you could see, say, or person was starting from the scratch or build the BB. So maintain a resignation after weeks, and now when you have some incredible media mileage and some publicity promotion and there was wrong. So I was very surprised. But I want us to decode, break down the press statement after the game Ulusu to Burkina Faso. I just want us to break down the press statement from how things unfolded after losing by 2-1 against Burkina Faso. This is something that a lot of people have been surprised to, especially those of us in the sporting media. But Yentie Laryea Kingston, maybe see break it down because it's now difficult. And from what I've gathered too, we can share why we think Laryea Kingston has left the job rather surprisingly. Well, so we can listen to Laryea Kingston.
I don't like talking about myself. But for once, I will do that. I like talking about my technical team, and I always use we. But this time, I will talk about myself. I know Ghanaians know me as a player. Ghanaians know the work and everything that I gave to this country as a player. I gave my all, and I will continue doing that. I have everything I want to do for this country. I give my all as a player, but at the end, I wasn't happy as a player. I focus more on my coaching career, educate myself well, to make sure I come back and change the narrative. The investment I put in myself, all because I want to change something in Ghana football. And for me, for these 6-7 months, I've given my all. I've done my part as a technical person, as a coach. I've done my part for that. And after we came back from Russia, that's when I decided either we win, we qualify, I'm moving on. So in this case, I'm resigning. After this tournament, I'm resigning as under 17 coach. I've made that decision already before this tournament starts. The explanation will come out later.
Well, I'm sure, sir, we all have heard Laryea Kingston very clearly, quite well, enunciated by Laryea. So he took it from the point where he was a player. Those of you who follow my Twitter or X from 2019, I shared stories about Laryea Kingston when I got closer to him on panel, GTV and other places. You can clearly see that Laryea Kingston, he mentioned that he gave his all for Ghana as a player. And we all know he gave his all for Ghana as a player, but at the end, he wasn't happy. And those of you who don't know, and those who know, Laryea Kingston as a player gave his all. Played in AFCON, he was part of the midfield quartet, Michael Essien, Sulemuntari, Seven Apia, and almost form a midfield na ebeye that strong. Michaelisian, Sulemuntari, Seven Apia, like Kingston 4. So we nebeye the strongest midfield in Africa for so long a time, from AFCON 2006 throughout the qualifiers for the World Cup. But the Ekosi like Kingston, so Neni Anyida was when like Kingston during the AFCON 2006 on Habib Beye, that Senegalese player no clash ya. Ye show like Kingston red card beer. So say clearly there was no issue. No was a referee show red card. Say ene enanka VAR roha Kalai Kingston ebenyane tiedim. He was but 3 players and come back World Cup 2006. 3 like Kingston can 3. Those of you who watched the game against Senegal, I'll provide the assist that the mama to a share that goal. Ghana nya win by yen progress. Like Kingston could do red card. Am I ye banning from World Cup 2 games? But enya no issue no. The share lie pan say the Ghana Football Association could have written to CAF because CAF officials share video no biem. Ehun say red card na ma FIFA for say like Kingston ain't me more World Cup 2 games because that time say unya red card or AFCON na I carry record the next FIFA competition which is the World Cup. Into be na oye 1 or 2 3 4 players are no more straight guarantee spot in the Black Stars a very fictitious red card, ridiculous red card oni Habib Beye e malai I may say but we share graphic sports any other papers nanka lie betimi akọ World Cup but lie ntumi anko because Ghana FA etro no mu delay enka CAF say o mo ntro officially na o mo cancel saade no Ghana FA a delay. There was a circumstance. There was something that hindered the reason why CAF ent me and Chemono. There was a circumstance. In the Ghana Football Association officials and I'm like Kingston and to me and Nyasa World Cup ni Bianco because in combat clear work red card according to CAF, but there was a delay or there was some discrepancy on the part of Ghana FA later and on Bejitum. Into bia or top form oko World Cup now akodi red card enye ono anya boni bia ono mom ye twa no na wasan akodi red card because player no ekokoye simulation ye bibi chese la ya bono wanya ne hwe. Those of you who have not watched that Habib Beye like Kingston incident, then 2010 like Kingston sour form onye one of the players obi adwen say onko World Cup ni bi Milovan Rajovac go born squad like Kingston they are dropping nti okasa niema mienu ni bomu a ushia lie bia o say he could have played at the World Cup. Say first time no ne mistake a second time no na odwen senka ye de no kra enye se bia na woni onye merited ana o merit but ye hwe kwan of so a wan ko bi na ohun ne say obi wo bibi against him from the establishment because 2006 2010 wan ko bi and a lie adwen free national team no so kra forever. After a career, no, Lai was nowhere close to football. And I obey coaching from or say, I gave my all as a player. At the end of the day, I was not happy. And Tianu free one was say, or side the baby to Nenchi a basso obey coach. And obey take you over coaching, so no I invest in him. What TSK Kokoso, Zako Denmark, Wako right to dream. And now what Jayaba. And we have to admit, so no can say if you find your confidence with him. I don't know whether that was true, honest statement, and I say was one of the diplomatic statements. Coaches Emma Abraya Faumo. So this is what like Kingston had to say. Say if you know any GD with him on Befano, but he's not happy. Now on Peso Bekasa for the team because time be also my technical team, but this time they or not. To be against him or say as a player he was not happy. As a coach too, there have been some issues. Another important thing from the press statement and I take home the fact that I came all the way from Denmark so that Obetimia changes a certain narrative or kind of twice or thrice. What is the narrative? Is it the narrative say team no to mean qualifying for World Cup since 2017, where we used to be a strong force in that age category, and Wababe changing no de Yakubi? And now the narrative say under 17 no abeye family property players omo belong to ebia mpanyimfo ne de omo bo ana eye bia influence wo meaning, but these are the two popular narratives there. Into which narrative nana lie is so be changing, but we can understand that properly when we go deeper to see. Say Laryea Kingston say, or what Denmark now or bano no person be changing a certain narrative, but after say free, so one retire from the team no, and I said the under 17 team no, all retire because say on to me. Enya resource said the amount for cano, but or retire from her because or person be change a certain narrative. Na narrative no one to me. Narrative ni a dear say yen to me qualify. Another narrative that influence and due influence. Ewo amount for players no more the ball and our coaches no more no or need the freedom or we manipulated no. And no narrative no person be change. So these are the things that we are trying to break down from this. You can see say it was a well calculated speech. Maybe or started from as a player. Anyhow he ended. How he gave his all and ended bitterly. Ojai bibia no sign cast or beba be invested game num a give it back. Or invested when a home a hon watch say no be an a boy no man be a coach or no one or invested when you move or call Denmark Ojai or buy. So he wanted to change a narrative. Change what narrative? That is the narrative that we are trying to break down or decode. Or say one resign because of under 17 WAFU. But or resign, you will take a decision after say free Russia by. Omokobo very good football of Russia. The tournament call. And when a man for started some more born about so the pattern of play said the lie is any team. And we are all following. I have been very busy the last 3-4 months. But time kakra benyane the except of the game we read around, or you can clearly see that people were commending him for the type of footballer and Kodanebo. And even for the WAFU, Utimu said the energy, the vibe on them creating a man forfeit. A big grass, oh, this is the best under 17 team in recent times. In the narrative, when a day and lie to me and change or say Russia. And will take any decision. Which decision? A man for be many or more didn't come on this Laryea Kingston idea. And what catch them say? Laryea Kingston was angered. Obina share before because there were a lot of issues. What were the issues? Minimobia or nene kasa or the day or retire and say or sreno. Because you see, say he was incensed as a bufua shenemu. Entinipano oye a former FA executive member kase lie men kasa lie don't go and talk lie men kasa. So for so many minutes now more calming it down, but no are making a decision. We're communicating to some of the players say on to us. But then you see what Russia. A man for be information allegedly one of them they say lie was. I don't know how to put it, but he was scolded by some officials of the FA. Allegedly, he was scolded. Say, ne performance was bad. And one tears say, ball I have a bono how be a boy a basono. Dientino mo bonechi say onyadie. The okoye or honenye. Ntinibufuye. That is one issue whereby he was scolded by some officials. Secondly, I am also told confidentially that Saddick ne kosi ya ekofa wantwi kakraba or Russia no. Laryea Kingston sabedru o Ghana. Now there had been a gathering of under 17 team bi ayese onfa embo ana onfre o mo ana onfa o mo nka ho. And was no, he wants to build with the team or they call Russia no. Allegedly, that is something that has been told also in confidence by people who are closer to him. We are all waiting, but we are trying to break down that it's quite unusual. And Ocean's speech, my press conference, there is nothing to suggest any qualification. Ose waka say o qualify one twaso because of enema isi wo ho na oba ha ne nso ebibesi ye enti eno ka ho bi narrative no nso ne say yatete say nipa bi akeka omo around camp say Laryea Kingston empese owo ho na empanyifo bi di players eba fa we bo hwe we so mame o say wo player that is what I will lay down say wo player time bia no mane hu say player we oya de na onkwohwe no ba ompese obi ade player beba camp ho na so mo be disrupting a plan but those things were going on no one person no two enti sa imposition no ha no enti na adwe ne se sa scold dia yes scold ni nyina e bia na ye players bia wan fa o mo ambo na anko ya manonti na nipa ni bi yesa so you can break it down easily ade na wo kan wa hyehye enti narrative no ye de na narrative say the players impose on coach na opese o change ana ade narrative because a narrative ne say world cup na yentumi nkono na opese obe change no a nka onka say ye qualify crowd obejai. Do you get my point? These are the two popular narratives ye nyina yenim nti Laryea ade no players are dey corner so far away and no one you see there was a whole gathering of under 17 players I say omo no omo form mbo and I must say who say some screenshot to be atapoku menu and century or share screenshot I don't know which page that's from but according to him if I quote him and I cite him or purchase mpanyimfo bi omo football man people in football omo ye closer to the establishment no omo nkasa omo nje lie ni and I say when omo twitwa ne nantini oni omo ne oho de ana nipa omo ben establishment no omo se onya de emotional coach sensem baby ntitama amanfo obo na baso ne nyina no na wutumi hu se enya de a eye nipa ni bi de ebia because of reasons players are now say type of player now you can clearly not tell but obi interest maybe was not saved nti aha adwen kakra nka ye hu ne say we ya de under 17 no hwe all big national teams omo picky players from under 17 samadi time when afrane omo tena ho check akra na omo build Jose Peckerman national teams on person omo build from under 17 no coaches no mo ho no mo chanting ki hwe lie de na nka o grow sisi akra ye nim say under 17 on be qualify for World Cup na omo nko but ne resignation no aye big the complication ne doso ntina ye try say e de na ahye Laryea bufuo sa awodere a resign so wo hwe said de no ne players no e relate ene said de na amanfo ani je as o junior pep na OGD na minim why Laryea Kingston adwuma ono a wape ache obeka se wajai adwuma no onye biem eye quite troubling very troubling and surprising for especially obi a udi football know very troubling. You clearly can see say enye Laryea Kingston ne pen or de no and we can also say bibi crack or so e bia Laryea so nko nya abotre kakra because nipa na otin ho kire mene say GFA statement omode buy no oye na ni our scrap no so masum nti utimu se bibi ni ho a coach amo pen no de o kan bibi sa na nka omo pen na ombeka say oh oye former star ye no ne betena se because otuado so ko yakofa na ba ono ana retire obi anjai no ono ana retire otuado obi ampam no ono ana koye o se wontumi ntina abatoma kofa na ba it means senka lie no senka ye penwa nka ye ntro statement intentem sa akoye se adwuma mu na wo pese wugya ye adwuma na adwuma efo no empanyimfo nso pese omo yiwadi na afi pressure aba wo so ana wugya ya na the statement aba bonten. Yes, and can be a statement in a bit my a bit sober. Oh, Laryea, we ya test our casa or press conference. We still have a contract with him and I say in any relationship, we will seek to address the issue. Arbitration and now we will try to address matters and see the way forward. Naka statement nesi. Ebi on Laryea Kingston's resignation, we are found in the media say in our press conference, and we think that it was not appropriate to say that at the press conference, having a relationship with Yang as an employers, but we will, as employers, we will sit down with Laryea, now you address matters be going forward, now you foster peace, simple. But Laryea kaya na no mo de ba bonten say press conference in the one cancel boni bia o, but you say o cancel be after lobby hɔ ne saa nneɛma no ɛna obi kɔ report to ye nti ɛdeɛ ne bɛma na sisa because press conference na ɔde retire ne de or resign one can nsɛm bi a yɛ inappropriate minim deɛ sɛ na yɛ inappropriate na but deɛ me minim a ɔmo aka kyerɛ me ne sɛ ɔka nsɛm bi around ɛwɔ hɔ a na nyɛ on official record na no ɛna mpanyinfo bi akɔti ho akyerɛ mpanyinfo ɔmo wɔ efe a ɔmo nso ɛde statement na ba sɛ ɔka inappropriate words and all that nti sɛ sanction bi kura na ɛwɔ anka yɛ wia na nka sɛ ni akɔ nti Laryea ebi a temperament no amboa no ebi nso a no wa taking a decision nti temperament no will not it will be material, but the point of the matter is that there is an issue. You cannot say one call mahu sɛ amanfo bebree say we a man of principle. Yes, man of principle, not because one qualified, because under 17 there it is for building. And now she says you year be a under 17 World Cup. Ntinka we no betima build it to next year. Obenya ample time, but the AC no chere say enye nuntia. Okaso qualify kro obejai. So we have to go deep down and look into matters. And yes, it's not appropriate say young coaches or more banner. Maybe Laryea will need to speak to some people or in some way, communication and other things. But maybe already in football, no. And Yemen and maybe train said as a professional Bekasa. I thought some things could have been better. But meaning issue, munti meaning what is going on, meaning what is going through. Be a drew baby, or want to say the principle. Ekuta and then the conviction say also a resign. So we are trying to break down. So far, these are the things that we are hearing, and we think that the GFA statement, Laryea Kingston, quite of us resign, and yet too proper. Minim de wakomudie, but biana on who say okay. And I think say the GFA as the official body or Moshe football, so no, omudi also take a lot of time and effort. Say omubema peace abantino. The statement was too quick. Accepting the resignation was too quick. Imputing a lot of background reasons in the extrinsic information. Insider. These are some of the issues going on, and I think we need to address. Going forward, in the course of the week, a lot of things will come. I will try personally to speak to Laryea Kingston, and I know some other people will speak to him and see, because or a lot of future ahead of him, and even for the kids, Okochi or Mono, Utimus a bond a woman. I don't know how these kids are going to feel now, but clearly, Laryea Kingston and the GFA situation was not well managed. But I think that things could be better. Things could be better. The way things are going, and yet these are people that we should not let them leave the scene. Our bra, you bet me, and the best out of them. So. In the course of the week, I'm sure that a lot of things will come up. You bet me discussing it properly. Thank you very much.